Ah, I hate it when the Samsung camera app just quits to the home screen. Jeez. More tutorial rubbish. YouTube can just... I already said it. Coming soon to KB Video Space. I am planning a Q1 extravaganza where I will look at like the device itself, all the accessories and stuff. Well, at least most of the accessories, and a little surprise I am planning if I can actually get it ready. That'll probably be maybe 2 months or 1 month down the road. I don't know, but never mind. On to your scheduled presentation. First, let me start off by saying that what I think about HP is that basically their consumer grade stuff are like rubbish, but the real magic lies in their business grade stuff that you probably can only buy from the HP online store or from maybe like eBay. I'm in the process of setting up a capture box, and I have my PC to TV encoder still in the box. Hopefully I can fix up that capture box. I tried to put the hard drive from my HP consumer grade desktop that died. However, that resulted in a blue screen. I can actually put to the Ubuntu system that was installed for this BioStar board. Sadly, I can't turn on the flash while recording. Maybe that's why it helps to have maybe like those kind of flip video kind of a thing. But anyways, under this pile of files and stuff is my HP e-Vectra. I think I got it maybe like 2 years ago from eBay user Akaidek. And when I got this, it had Windows XP installed, but I downgraded it to back to its original OS 2000. Sadly, when I got it, I only received the power adapter, the system itself, the door key, and the vertical stand. If I am able to, I might put a picture, if I can find a picture of what it looks like when it's in the vertical stand. So when I got the system, it actually had a sticker about lifetime warranty, but I don't think the seller said anything about that. So I broke the seal, took the 2 screws out of the back. It slides out in front, and I did some upgrades. So I think I might be able, I think I might want to show you how to take this thing apart. First off, here's the original power adapter for this thing. 19 volts at 3.6 amps. Seems to have originally also came with a quick user's guide, which is like basic information, and there's also so-called information CD-ROM. Of course, I didn't get any of those two with this. I downloaded the quick user's guide from Manual Sleep. Don't think the HP website has it, but I think I also managed to find a service manual. So let me just try and see if I can find that. Also managed to find a so-called PC service handbook chapter, which I'm guessing probably included like information for other products in the HP Vectra line from this time. So if I can find it. Oh yes, so when I upgraded it, I actually maxed out the RAM to 256 megabytes of RAM. My particular one came with 128 megabytes, which I believe I took that stick, I put it in the Aptiva 2197, which I believe had 64 megabytes of RAM. So now it has 192 megabytes of RAM, 32 taken away for the SIS graphics. Had a socket 370 socket with Pentium 3 or a Celeron. I didn't know these things were actually sold with a Celeron. Of course, mine has the Pentium 3 EB, 733 megahertz. And also, if you look inside, the fan is not aligned. When I opened it to clean it, I took out the fan and cleaned the dust under the heatsink, and I could not put it back. But the fan is not aligned, but it still works. And also the front control thing, that's also, I can just squeeze it out, and yeah. And power button is pushed in, but I can still press it. Of course, also if you see this beige portion is supposed to be white, but by living in an apartment, so retro white isn't really an option for me. Also, my unit actually came with a password in the BIOS, but it's a good thing that HP put a switch under the hard drive compartment to reset the CMOS, and that's what I did. And I went into the BIOS, which sadly was a rather limited BIOS, as I will show you later. Of course, you can see that there's the top portion of the case, the hard drive cover, the stand, and it also came with this thing. I'll need to go and see what that is. I have to look at section 3. Port control system. Weird. And also a blank serial number label. I don't know which one that is. Maybe this is the serial number label. Yeah, serial number is kind of faded. Here's the actual sticker. Yeah, serial number is SG because this is made in Singapore. Yes, it is made in the country I actually live in. And yeah, a lot of other computer devices were actually also made in Singapore. I can't remember what other devices, but I think Seagate also made their hard drives here. Also, my Windows 2000s and NT4 sticker. It's 2-in-1 license, which is pretty cool. You can go ahead and take the key if you want. Because I'm actually using the same copy of... I installed using the same Windows 2000 image that YouTube user Ryan Garrett uses, aka does not have a serial number, and when you put into safe mode it says that it's Windows 2000 Service Pack 4 free, as in 4 FREE. Originally came with either an 8.4GB hard drive or a 15GB hard drive. When I got mine, it had a 40GB hard drive, Max or Diamond Max in it, and then that hard drive died, so I changed it to a later Diamond Max that's a 80GB, and I've only used like 8GB of it. And there's a 10GB data partition, and the rest is Windows partition. So the data partition is actually assigned as C drive, Windows as D drive, but fortunately it still works. But sometimes like stuff like IC Tower, because it installs to C/games instead of C/program files or program files /x86. So yeah. Some models were also sold without a disk drive. So I don't know how they would get Windows 2000 installed on that. Maybe they take the hard drive and put it into their other computer and then put the Windows 2000 disk in. And then copy the install files to the hard drive, run the first portion of the setup from the CD, and then put it back into the system. Windows 2000 will come up with a screen asking for a CD, so you just navigate to the folder, I think. I can't remember if Windows 2000 would actually let you use the files from a folder to complete the setup. Of course, my unit also did not come with the original mouse and keyboard. I just used my Colorway Slim Sharp keyboard and the Creative Logitech mouse. But I also had the Cirque EasyCat that I used with this. I still have the driver for this. Driver installed for this, but even though the actual device is still in my workshop, I'm still cleaning up my workshop, and probably takes maybe a year or two to finish it. Sealing tape, TBD, to be discussed. Okay, I forgot to hit record, but localization AB4, so Singapore would have gotten what I think is a US layout keyboard, and what I believe is a UK power cord. of course, in the UK, yep, there's the UK power cord and a UK layout keyboard. So you have the pound sign somewhere, and put the at in the somewhere other place, and of course the hash, and of course we probably like the like the L sheet key. Like here in Singapore, we of course do get the US layout, but sometimes on eBay when you're searching for US keyboards, we sometimes end up getting the UK variant. I mean the European, or US international keyboard, which has like the backslash. It's not here; it is here, and has like the key like that something. So you could get a 500 MHz Celeron with a 66 MHz front side bus and a 128 KB L2 cache, as well as a different heatsink, probably like maybe a smaller heatsink or something. You can also get a 533 MHz with the same kind of cache. You can also get it with a faster clock speed, 533 MHz or 566 MHz, and then but in this case, my system came with, and then you could also get a Pentium 3, either a 600 EB and the 133 MHz front side bus, 56 KB L2 cache, a 66.7 with the same kind of faster clock speed, 66.7, and mine came with the highest end option, which is the 733 EB and 133 MHz front side bus and the 256 KB L2 cache. Main memory modules, of course, I got the mid-range, the 128 megabytes HP, yeah, but of course I actually also upgraded it to a 256 megabyte, which is the maximum, and that actually happens to be a HP branded part, so also looks like an original replacement. But yeah, I would just tell them that it actually came with a 128 originally, and I can't believe they were running Windows XP on this thing, 128 megabytes of RAM. Yeah, so you can run Windows NT for 2000, it can run XP, but you rather run 2000 on here. And it also runs 98, but sadly I don't back then I could not find the 98 drivers, so I did try to run 98, but I think the sound and one other thing wasn't working, so I went back to 2000. Fortunately, I actually installed I can't remember, but I did some trickery with like making it boot into a DOS that I copied and pasted, and then I put grub for DOS to chain load 2000. And then basically it will load into DOS, and then I could choose to load 98, which would continue the startup. Or I could go and load the grub for DOS, and from there go to Windows 2000. But I of course scrapped that, had to use a fixed boot from my XP recovery console. And yeah. But I did do Windows 98 on here. Of course, later, a few months later, I was given the Aptiva, which does run 98 natively. It runs 98 without any problems. And then some units, you could get a HP disk for both Windows 2000 and NT4, or you could get a disk for 98. So the yeah. So you could get for this Windows in English, French, German or Japanese. Of course, mine came with the English image. In the box, not only would you get the system mouse and keyboard, but you also get an information CD-ROM, the user guide, troubleshooting and upgrade guide, and a technical reference manual. Interesting. Some people might not be lucky to get without the key, but of course I did get the key, and looks like the key was left in for most of its lifetime, because as you can see the metal has discolored, because probably because the system, the power adapter is only a 2-pin figure 8 connector for the AC side, so not really grounded, so probably that's what happened. The charge actually discolored the key, but the key still works and can't really describe what I'm feeling, but it's not really not really major. On the back of the system you have power input. You get a lot of, maybe like 6 or 7 6 holes for the kit that lets you lock out certain ports. Fortunately I did not get that. I would have showed it to you, but I'm okay with not being locked out. So on the back you get power input, Ethernet, VGA parallel serial. As you can see, the VGA is missing like one of the screws, but doesn't really matter, it still works. You get PS2 keyboard, mouse and keyboard, 2 USB ports, these are 1.0. You also get your speaker, line in and microphone, no ports on the front. And then you also get a key lock for the hard disk, which I'm sure also locks the top cover of the chassis. You also get a Kensington lock port, and yeah, mine came with mine actually had the second screw, but it was really stripped, so I took it out with pliers and threw the screw away. Okay, now if you want to take apart your e-Vectra or e-PC, e-PC actually, you want to make sure that it's unlocked, and then you unscrew both screws. These screws here I have actually done in loosely, so I can just twist them out. Then you turn it to the front like this horizontally. Push both hands on the side, and first you remove the hard drive cover. Okay, so take the hard drive cover off. Then you will take and lift up the hard drive, push it backwards and lift the hard drive. Then you're going to take out the IDE cable and the 4-pin power connector. Then put the hard drive aside. As you can see, this is the 80GB hard drive I used. I think I bought it from someone on eBay, and I found that when they wiped the hard drive, it did not wipe the boot record, so it was asking me about something about IBM recovery, so it probably came up from a early Think Center or its predecessor, the NetVista. Can't really see it, but yeah, 2005 and made in Singapore. Yeah, you just poke the. I think Samsung should actually move the AF button on the camera app, so that I can just press it with one hand. Close the dust on the screen. Whatever, but yeah. Put the hard drive there. Of course, you can. It has actually rubber dampening under the actual screw, so you can take the. So yeah, you can change the hard drive. You can also put the screws on the side, but I rather leave them on the top. That's how it came to me. Over here, you can already replace the IDE and the disk drive cables if that's what you want. You can also see the PC speaker right in there, little can, and then. Now, with the hard drive removed, you put your hands like that and push on the disk drive or the blanking plate, depending on whether your system has the disk drive or not. Okay, once that's done, just lift it up and put the top aside, and you are in, like Flynn. EV block road. Okay, I see the front panel was loose, but here you can squeeze both tabs and take out the front panel. It uses the standard pinouts, but you have to not really in the standard layout. And then you can also see the fan connector there. So if I can take this out, run it through the hole and carefully. You have to move the fan wire. So the front controls are out. Now you can take the fan out. Then you squeeze the two clips, push them down, slide it, and you can wiggle it out there. There's your fan. And the fan, when I got it, was really dusty. I cleaned it out. And here it is. It's interesting how HP put like a little ground lug on there to ground the heatsink to the rest of the case. You can see a part of the RAM there. It takes PC100 RAM. And you can also see that the motherboard has missing screws. And over there are two caps which are slightly bulging, but it's not really easy for me to replace the capacitors because there are some traces that are close by, but I'm not gonna replace them because it's very early in the stages, and yeah. Okay, so you can take this pin out and lift out the heatsink if you want to change the processor. You can see like the power control circuitry and stuff, and that is where you go to if you want to remove the 4-pin power connector and replace that. You can also see the back of the lock mechanism. I think you can replace the lock mechanism because there's a little clamp there. So yeah, but I'm gonna keep it in for originality. Now on the front, you want to remove the disk drive. So what you do is you take the IDE cable, 44-pin IDE cable, I believe, and this disk drive is sort of a proprietary firmware. So I tried other slimline IDE drives. They did not work in here. They will just come up with a boot error, and you cannot the system will not be able to use the drive. So now with the disk drive like this, you push down and pull it forward. So that's the drive there. Now you have your blanking plate. So you want to there's this hole here. You take your screwdriver in and pull it upwards and pull it out. There you have your RAM stick. Can't really see it, but it is a HP branded stick, 256 megabytes. And also the motherboard form factor, it's interesting. It's almost mini ITX. You can see there's an artifact for some dip switches. And but anyways, yeah. I think if you see there, says HP copyright 1999. I think there's some words there. Can't really see it. Phone won't focus. Yeah, but can't really see it. Never mind. So yeah, there is your system taken apart. Then put the screws and take out the screws on the motherboard and replace it. So yeah. The easy cap device that the DC60 clone. However, I decided that since and
Okay, there it is. It just came up on my screen. So here I wanted to show you how limited the BIOS setup is. As you can see, there is only one page of settings that you can change. You can pretty much only change the time, the boot. What did I just do? Okay, yeah, but anyways, you can change the boot device from a limited list of combinations. You can enable the F12 for network boot. However, I disabled that. You can also disable the disk drive, which I believe is a sort of a drive. I believe it uses like a proprietary firmware, so I cannot just use any laptop IDE drive. The disk drive that I have in here, um, it has a problem with the eject mechanism, so I'll have to hold down the eject button, and then when I feel the drive eject mechanism click, and then I let go, and then the drive will open. And then over here is set the BIOS password. When I got this computer, it actually did have a password on the BIOS, but I luckily HP put a switch under the hard drive so you could actually disable the password, which is what I did. Then you can enable and disable the onboard audio. You can also enable and disable the serial port, processor serial number. Yeah. So I'm gonna press, actually I'm gonna escape and press enter to quit without saving changes. That is power saving mode on my HP monitor, that is, and come on. Okay, the monitor just came on again, HP logo. I'm gonna press escape to get into the summary screen here so I can show you the specs. So yeah, I think I already went over the specs, but you can pause and read all of these if you want. It shows some PCI devices, but those are all on board, and it actually doesn't exactly use the i810 chipset. Rather, it uses the i810E, which is which I believe is the embedded variant. And yeah, they didn't even bother to put the serial number in the BIOS. BIOS is dated 2000. So yeah, just press any key, and it's okay. Anyways, when I got this computer, it had Windows XP on it, but it was rather slow because it was only 128 megabytes of RAM. But I upgraded the RAM to its maximum 256 megabytes, as I highlighted earlier on in this video, and I put it back on Windows 2000. I actually bought the e-Vectra to replace the Acer Travel Mate 510 series, I believe, that actually died. But that Acer actually had like a common issue with the like the connection of the hard drive. But yeah, anyways, main reason why that Acer wouldn't work is because the smart card reader actually stopped working, and as a result, it will not get past the BIOS because it requires a valid smart card to boot. And just now, as you saw, the Windows 2000 actually crashed while trying to start up. This is actually occasional thing that I get, but usually it will eventually boot up and then it would be okay. Believe mouse is not responding. What the okay, I have a loose mouse connect. Mouse is actually loose. Just push the okay, it actually dismissed itself. Interesting. But yeah, it gives those kind of informative errors, and yeah, I just pushed in the mouse connection there, and there is booting again. Come on, okay, yeah. And this old like desktop mic, even though I have to actually get up to okay, video resolution is out of range. It is putting up at 1280 by 1024, which is not the right resolution. So anyways, the thing is actually glitching out. You couldn't really see that, but Windows 2000, when trying to reconnect to the network drives, it actually comes up with an error that says, I mean, no, it comes up with an error with a Windows 3.1 icon. However, I was trying to connect to my old workshop PC, which you know has died. So I'm gonna press enter and skip that, and then as soon as I get to the desktop, I'm gonna go and change the resolution down to 1024 by 768. You can see Office 2000 starting up. I believe I actually got that copy from WinWorld PC. There it is, 1024 by 768. Then I press enter because the HP monitor just disconnected itself. I think I can press the arrow and press enter. Okay, there it is, it's set, but the HP monitor connection has died. If I push the cable in, I think I just pulled up a menu on the thing itself. What did I just do? Yeah, but anyways, it's booted up already. It is actually connected to the internet, but the monitor died. Oh, maybe the KVM switched itself. Okay, I just switched the KVM back, but okay, yeah, I get my image back. So yes. So anyways, I'm gonna in a few minutes, while in real time here, I'm gonna switch over to the to record off of on the iMac. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, it's been a few minutes already here in real time, but anyways, I am connected through the VNC server. What is this? Hide or show the remote cursor? Control the. Okay, hide the local cursor. Okay, yeah. So anyways, I am connected here already. I want to show you some of the software. Now, if you're watching the video in OS First Timer, you'll know that I had the 17-inch monitor, so it was 1280 by 1024. However, since I switched to a 15-inch monitor because I had to share it between my Aptiva, so anyways, it is 1024 by 768. And yeah, now if I go over here to start, I will show you just. So just earlier, that it actually booted in 1280 by 1024, but the monitor complained that it was out of range. 256 colors. What's that? Let me try that again. Oh, I saw something about 256. Nah. So it seems that it'll go up to 24-bit color only. Unless maybe if I bring it all the way down. But anyways, it just shows as a default monitor because it's connected through the PC to TV encoder still. So it seems to only support up 24-bit color and only 4:3 resolutions, but it seems to be able to go up very high. Yeah, I can go up to 1280 by 1024 with 24-bit color, then 1600 by 1200 with only 256 colors. So anyways, I'm gonna open up my start menu. Sorry about this, but I'm not really feeling clear today about making the video, but you have all the standard Windows 2000 stuff. I think I already mentioned about being able to install Windows 2000 and not really install anything else, but here I actually have Netgear software for the wireless adapter that I have stored away. I also have glide point software for Circ external touchpad that I also have like buried in my pile in my workshop. LED badge, that is actually software for a little scrolling badge thing that I actually already gave away to someone on FreeCycle because I didn't really use it. However, I still have a software here, and it's interesting to note that when I install the software,
It was missing comctl32.dll or something like that. I wonder why they wouldn't put the I mean, why would they wouldn't test the software on their own computer and I mean on their virtual machine with a fresh install to see if there's any files required or not. So anyways, after that I have 7-zip. I believe this is version 4.65 that I have installed. Why? Oh, it is actually 9.2. Nice. I actually have 7-zip on my Aptiva to install software from Windows PC. I mean to extract software from there, but that is actually 4.65 that I installed. Over here, let me go back to my full view. But over here I actually have Cam Studio. Now Cam Studio does work for recording by this is actually the older version, version 2.0 from 2003. But anyways, it does record, but I remember it records around 1 frame per second only. But I had tried to record with that. So I also have the USB to serial driver, because the serial that I mean the cable that came with that, it only came with a USB to serial cable. It did not come with a cable that went directly to serial. Rocket dock. I believe I did run this, but it kind of made the system slow. But it was still good to have a dual dock on the system. But I later just went back to desktop icons. I have Terra Copy, which I believe not sure what version this is, but basically it is a replacement for the built-in copy and move command in Windows Explorer. Let's see more. Oh wait, it already says in the title by this 2.27 free version. Menu. Oh, okay. I've forgotten that this actually has options. If you're hearing a fan sound, that is actually on my iMac. A hard drive replacement. I don't know what happened, but it seems to make the fan more noisier for some reason. I don't know why, but I do have IC Tower on here. I do actually play it on here. It does play well. Yeah. But I wouldn't demonstrate it here because it will really be laggy because it's a VNC connection. I do have Virtual PC. This is Virtual PC 2004. And I did actually try to run an XP virtual machine on this thing. Actually it's XP Lite. And I might have made a video about that Spanish XP Lite system. But anyways, Virtual PC 2004. Which doesn't seem to want to load today, so I'll just moved on. VLC, yeah, I do have VLC on here, but I believe it's version 1 point something. Oh, come on. Whoa. I haven't used Virtual PC 2004. You can see that little cross error from when I used to try XP Lite on this through the virtual machine. I really do like the old Windows era. I mean some of the old Windows icons as well as the old interface together with that. But I'm okay with like the modern Windows Aero and Windows 8 interfaces and stuff. So I'll continue and cancel that and close off that. But yeah, it is Virtual PC 2004. I'm not sure what version of VLC. Yeah, it's VLC 1.x. Okay. Let's see something. Oh, compile information. I just double click the icon. It's a thing from Windows 3.1, but they kept that tool feature up until today. where you can just double click the icon. But in Windows 3.1, because they didn't have the close button, so you had to double click the toolbox with the horizontal line. Later became the icon in Windows 95, and they also added the cross button in 95. I do also like Windows 3.1, even though I don't have a physical system to run it on, since vintage computers here in Singapore are actually hard to find. The Aptiva, which is actually I consider it to be my oldest working computer, even though it's probably around from the same year or so, but I don't know when exactly the e-Vectra was manufactured, and I consider it to be the oldest because it runs Windows 98. e-Vectra runs 2000, even though it has similar processors, and Aptiva has less RAM because it's Windows 98. So yeah, hold on, I'll be right back. Next we have just the standard Windows 2000 administrative tools that you're probably all familiar with. Again, software for the modem, is it? Yeah, software for the little thing. I have Chameleon, which is actually a lightweight web browser, which is, I believe, uses the same, uses a Gecko rendering engine, but same version as Firefox. But sadly, Chameleon was actually a project that was abandoned at version 1.60, 0 beta 2. But it does seem to be stable when I tried it. But yeah, so this was the last version released before the project was abandoned. I actually do have a theme here that makes it look like IE5. However, I do believe that is actually based on a designed for an older version of Chameleon, so it only has a small toolbar with limited number of icons. However, it does have the old Internet Explorer Trobber as well, which I believe I had to download separately. See, can I yeah, they put the preferences under the edit menu just like in Linux. Click here. Yeah, you can also change the what displays in the title bar. So you can make but it will still appear in brackets, I believe. So it's relatively flexible in its settings. Let me go back to toolbars. Yeah, tab bar, bookmarks bar, and the favorites bars are actually disabled because I don't use the stock theme. Use a theme designed for an older version. I believe it's pre 1.0. It does also support tab browsing, but I disabled that so that I can have, so it doesn't stress the system. It does seem to support seem to list a ton of search engines. Some of them are actually variants of one engine, but Oh, it actually does support DuckDuckGo, which is actually one of my favorite search engines for the fact that it's rather simple. But sadly, Safari does not support it. I can even add an entry if I'd like, but I'm okay with all these options. Multi-search. Oh yeah, so you can add and edit. I mean, you can edit all of this. Not sure when this version was released. Yeah, you can also put like shortcuts to your favorite websites. I know in Safari, you can press something like command 1 through 9 or whatever for your bookmarks toolbar, and similar to in Windows 7 and later, where the stuff that you pin on the taskbar, you can press, like for example, Windows 1 through 9. It will open like the one of the first 9 that you choose to open. Paranoia. Yeah, you can actually change the user agent right in the browser. It does not require a plugin. So you can actually fake the user agent, and you can see how old this browser is. You can even press custom and then type the user agent from another browser that you use. But I believe if I set it default, it will identify as Chameleon and and then after that it will write Firefox, so that browsers that websites that don't know about Chameleon will at least know that it's closest one of its relatives, Firefox. I believe Pale Moon does a similar thing. While Pale Moon is actually a more Firefox based browser, while this I believe just uses the Gecko rendering engine. So it has rather more detailed proxy configuration as well. So it's rather flexible in the kind of settings, but I believe unlike IE, I don't think it actually does let you force the font settings on the website by having you choose your fonts in the font setting, and then you go over to accessibilities, and then you select to ignore font style specified on web pages. So that's how you would force a font change on websites in Internet Explorer. That was actually pretty nice. I actually got YouTube to display in Comic Sans MS, which I like, but normal people would probably not like it. And then there's also the settings for the plugins, so I can enable and disable the plugins if I want. I believe you actually get to choose what plugins you want to enable in the settings. And then you can also configure the additional plugins which aren't in this list, I believe. Oh, you can actually enable them, but yeah, you can also enable them here. So so Chameleon actually has support for 3 different bookmark systems. So I have only Internet Explorer favorites installed. So what IE favorites, I believe that corresponds to the Windows. Internet Explorer uses a folder for its favorites. Netscape style bookmarks, I believe it stores it all in a single file, and I believe Opera probably also works the same way, even though I rarely ever use Opera. There is also a separate plugin that enables full screen. Yeah. So it seems that by default it is probably more like the Chrome full screen mode, where it's like you don't get to see much. Macro extension, so you can yeah, interesting. And mouse gestures, which I don't use because it's too complicated for me to learn. So you can do it by using the right click. Oh, alternate. But yeah, let me just show you the about screen as well. Yeah, it has a about colon page. So yeah, it even tells you the user agent here. I see. Working. Come on. Let me just try and see if I can close it. I'll be right back. Only when I moused out of the window it did actually start to do some of its stuff, but just now I was moving the mouse on the system itself. Windows Update, I believe that does not work. And also if I go into add remove programs, as you can tell, it is actually very similar to the one, I mean it was carried over into XP, but the only difference was they later added a show updates checkbox. So you can pretty much the same actually. In fact, I think they might have put Windows 2000 Service Pack 4 while they had XP out for a little bit of time. So the reason why is if I go into control panel and the automatic updates is actually the icon from Windows XP. If I double click that, but yeah, this is actually from the Service Pack 1 of Service Pack 0/1 of XP. Windows Update is actually enabled even though Windows 2000 is actually out of support. But it does not really, it does not notify me of any updates. As you can see, I also had use large icons enabled, but I became too used to large icons on this system that I did not disable them. And of course also the Logitech and the Circ settings. Wow, I've been recording for like almost half an hour already. So anyways, I also have tight VNC, which is what I'm using to bring the screen here. Manicam, that is also because of my webcam, but I believe there's an old version. Asus Partition Master 9.2.1. I believe this is also an old version. Normally if you install it, you will sometimes you will just show advertising in on your desktop. However, I managed to change it, and yeah, so that it will go there. And then also, because if you click, it will give you like a useless launcher that's probably only there to advertise the other software. So I actually link directly to the software itself. I believe now their software is paid only. I also have Fraps. I actually tried to use that, but I believe it does not work on here. Yeah, actually, yeah, that is the evaluation version, I believe. So it puts watermark. Cupzilla, which is another lightweight web browser. So as you can see, Cupzilla is actually designed to look like Firefox. It's actually designed to look like the Firefox 3 series. So that's actually pretty cool. I don't know if this is like the latest version or if they stopped development or somewhat, but oh, they actually use Qt for the interface. I believe Firefox uses something else, but I do about. Yeah, unlike Firefox, Cupzilla actually uses the WebKit, and yeah, I don't know if this is like the so yeah, and since it uses WebKit, it identifies as the closest relative Safari. Pale Moon actually also identifies as Firefox 24. Besides, there is the Logitech software for the camera that I don't have with me right now. Microsoft Office 2000 Professional, I believe, is what is installed. Yeah, Professional Plus, I think. But this is actually the version that was from what do you call it? Yeah, I think that's the version from Windows PC. So I can go and screw around with Clippy here. Or clip it. It's actually making the sounds over on the system itself. I used to do this when I was a kid, but over here it's actually lagging because it's a VNC connection, but you can kinda see it. Oh, I forgot this was actually set to US. Have to change this to UK. Oops, I just missed it. UK, because this does not have an option for English Singapore, so I have to use English UK. And you can see that it used to be that Microsoft Office would actually show pop-ups with attached to Clippy, unless you turn it off. If you hid it, then it would actually still show it as a dialogue. But if you had it showing, then it would actually show it with the assistant there. And I believe not many people actually knew that you could actually completely turn it off. Just uncheck that box. I'm not gonna do that. And that clip, not many people. I don't think many people know that Clippy actually had some friends. Oh, that's so cute. They even had stuff so simple as the Office logo. I can't believe that. Yeah. So some of these assistants were they look like stop motion animation to me. But still, it was cool to mess with it and then find that my OEM version of Office did not have all of it, and I did not know where I could find the Office CD for for my dad's twin head laptop that I messed with for a short time. I believe that laptop actually had XP Service Pack 0 and had the full version of Office 2002. Then don't know what happened to it, but later they bought a Versa NEC Versa M320 with XP Service Pack 1. It did come with Office 2002, but it was only Microsoft Word. I believe that was probably part of Work Suite that was installed. I believe yeah, it's probably like a part of Work Suite that was installed. I don't think it actually had the full version of Work Suite because sold here in Singapore. Yeah, I'm not sure if the full Work Suite was sold here. Also, Office 2000 was the first version to use the square icons. There was so that you would know that it was part of the suite. These square icons, I believe, was used in Office 2002 as well, and then they were given a 3D effect in Office 2003, and then completely changed in Office 2007, changed again in 2012. Is it? No, changed in 2010, and then changed again in 2013. So you could actually later find out what version was installed just by looking at the style of the icon. Graphmatica, can't remember where I got that from. I won't give you a download link, but yeah, of course also the documents menu, settings menu, search and stuff. I believe over here in the help somewhere it actually had like the voice kind of a thing, but I don't have the audio hooked up, so I can't really show it to you. Now let me show you the system properties. So for some reason back then Windows 2000 actually did not properly identify the Pentium 3 in here, but when I ran Windows 2000 on a Pentium 4 for a while, it actually did show as a Pentium 4. But yeah, this is a Pentium 3, 733 MHz EB and 256 megabytes of RAM. Service Pack 4. I believe this I actually used I believe I used the same image for my disk that YouTube user Ryan Garrett uses. Basically it's Service Pack 4, no serial excuse me, but basically it was basic I can't really think right now, but basically you it already had a product key slipstreamed in here, and while I would have been okay to enter the product key on the side of the system, well, I'm okay to have a different product key since Windows 2000 did not have Windows Genuine Advantage. I believe XP Service Pack 2 was the first version to have that. They actually named the system Test Bench because it used to be my main workshop computer for a while, and then I got a Pavilion A1270D which became my main workshop computer, and this was basically a secondary.
It's
then
10
that
o'clock.
okay, yeah, that was my Mac. But anyways, I believe I mean yeah, but then that computer has died, and once I do completely revamp my workshop, I will use my ThinkPad R52 to take its place, take the place of the HP. I mean, hardware. I think I might I just clicked to open Device Manager, but I don't really have anything much to show you, except for the chipset graphics, the extra drive which I showed you already, standard stuff, the CD-ROM drive, which again I don't think I'm able to find a replacement, but still, yeah. And then that. Also, it's interesting to note that I have some pretty cool software stuff here, even though this is not the original HP factory load. And of course, I also did not get the original HP monitor, keyboard, and mouse. You know I could do this, but you could. Seems that you can go to user profiles and see when the computer was last used. I think. Yeah, 15/8/2014. So oh wait, actually that's today's date. So yeah, it will change when you log on. But yeah. I'll show you more information. DirectX diagnostics. Wow, I never seen that actually do that before. I don't know what version DirectX it's installed. But yeah. Whoa. Sorry about that, but I think it's still loading here, but anyways, don't know why the black box is there. Okay, I think I know why, because the physical monitor is actually switched off. Oh, DirectX 9, interesting. But anyways, so yeah, HP Vectra 33 megahertz is 256 megabytes of RAM, but probably takes like 2 megabytes out for the video, I think. Not sure how much exactly it takes out for the video, but with this, don't think I can quit. I think it actually just locked up. Okay, there this is just updated. But yeah. Oh wait. One last thing, the Office shortcut bar, which is pretty cool Office feature that I believe lasted from whatever version of Office was released for Windows 3.1 up until Office 2007, when they dropped it, and they also dropped the Office Assistant because they find that people did not like it anymore. So it was pretty customizable little launcher thing. Actually has a sound when you switch the tabs here. So it was like a quick launcher, but I believe they probably stopped doing this because they find that more people were just going over to the start menu to run their software. But still, and also yeah, because it if you go to the programs tab, it just wait, no, that's accessories, is it? Don't have the programs tab enabled here, but yeah. Oh wait, one last thing actually. Actually, when I partitioned it, I actually wanted a 10 gigabyte data partition, so I created that first, and that actually set itself up as a C drive. And I have the D drive with Windows installed there. So, so 1.36 gigabytes and about 5.85, so about 8 gigabytes used of this 80 gigabyte hard drive, so it's plenty of space. This system, when I received it, had a 40 gigabyte hard drive, but that died, so I had this 80 gigabyte was the only one I had at the time. So yeah, anyways, now that is really it. This is Kevin signing off. Thanks for watching. You just played the Windows 2000 logout sound, but it's gonna log off, and then because it was running as a service, so it will stop the service, and I think it actually stopped it already, so I can just close out of it. So anyways, yeah, this is Kevin signing off. Thanks for watching.